What is up, everybody? It's your boy Lance, and it's been a while since he's done SSR Plus or even SSR review. So I'm coming back after a short break, and I just want to say that just as a quick disclaimer that this video will be a little bit longer than usual because I'm going to be discussing quite a lot of in-depth scenarios. So if you want to skip right to the point, then you can just skip the intro part. So as always, I'd like to remind you to like, share and subscribe. We're going to reach 2,100 subscribers soon, and that's a really big deal to me. So I do appreciate it if you can drop a subscribe, and if you're not following One Punch Man anymore, feel free to unsubscribe. I'm totally fine with it. Now, I've been rubbing my bald head recently trying to figure out what to do because there was something that I didn't want, to be honest with you guys. But if you saw the poll yesterday, I took a decision to actually bring it up. So I've actually misunderstood how SSR Plus Awakening works. So remember the few videos which I discussed the Awaken 2? Yeah, the Awaken 2 which I was describing was actually for some units Awaken 1. So for units like Boros, CE, as well as Metal Bat, those were the units on the top of my head which I mistaken their Awaken 1 passive as Awaken 2. So just as a disclaimer, I do apologize for that. That is completely my mistake and I accept responsibility for it. However, we have the opportunity to rectify the situation. So moving forward, I will be adjusting all my advices and descriptions. So the previous videos, you can take in essence their concepts, but don't take their unit descriptions to heart because some of them might be incorrect. However, my decision still stands that certain units should be skipped and certain units should not. However, I have changed my stance on Boros. I do think he is a decent unit now. However, he is still not high on my list, unfortunately, because of how the SSR Plus landscape has changed after CK. Nevertheless, we're going to get straight into the video. Today, we're not talking about CK, we're not talking about Metal Bat, we're not talking about Guryu, we're talking about CE. The original SSR Plus, the initial, the one we're going to get next month. So, once again, I do apologize for going off topic. But for my regular viewers, I do apologize. But you will be getting this video early. But the rest of the SSR Plus content won't be available to you for a while. I was planning maybe a week or 2 weeks in between for members to get, and then right after that it will be released to the general public. So let's say CE drops today, for example. Today is the 11th of January. So for the regular viewers, it will drop in example on the 25th of January instead. I'm definitely up to being negotiated with. However, I do plan to keep some form of time frame in between to satisfy both the members and non-members. So drop down your opinions in the comments. I know most of you guys will disagree and say like, oh, I'm being mean, but don't worry guys, you will have access to the information. It's just not as early as members because they're contributing. So let me know what you guys think. Honestly, you can be as candid as possible. I don't really mind it, honestly speaking. So let's get on with the review. Let's stop delaying and chit-chatting. So should you get CE Plus? So in my experience and in my opinion, he is the best AOE6 DPS in the SSR Plus era so far. Number one, you get him early. So it's not like Silver Fang where you have to wait 6-7 months in between for a strong AOE DPS. He does counter ATT immediately, and then he does allow certain individual units to survive some strong gear win follow-ups because he does remove injury as well as dot. So the benefits of CE. So it's the strongest shield breaker. So it's basically Genos on steroids. So if you're suffering from Genos breaking your shields now, you don't want to mess with CE because he hits like a truck. He provides raw anti-debuff to injury and dot to counter ATT and in future Silver Fang as well as gear win. He does not counter stun. So some of you guys might have some misconceptions with it. He does not counter stun. That belongs to Metal Bat. He's insane when paired with Hellfire or Drive Knight. So Drive Knight reduces ultimate damage by 50%, so enemy CE deals 50% less damage to you while you hit them like a truck. Hellfire, you can protect your team from any remaining dot that ATT drops that is not on CE's row, but because of the 50% penetration rate, it has tons more value now. He also increases the DPS unit survivability because he provides healing from his Awaken passive. Now his drawbacks and cons. 50% dot cancellation is a gamble now, so it's a huge nerf to him. However, if you have Hellfire, even if the dot goes through, the shield will naturally absorb the dot, making it less painful of a nerf. Placement is very essential because it is a row effect. You want it to cover your essential units. So definitely I will be putting CE in the same row as a RMG or a Sonic or a Gearings, where you want them to be a little bit more safer. There is also a huge gap if you don't get his keepsake. As you can see with the keepsake descriptions later, it is a major element to his kit, naturally. So abilities breakdown. So the passive, he provides immunity to secondary effects, immunity being a meme term because it has a 50% chance to penetrate. So secondary effects, you have burn, force field, internal injury, and normal injury. So, and as well as corrode, but we don't really see corrode anymore. So increase roll crit rate by 25%. This is his basic passive for 2 rounds. Limit break 5, the crit rate is increased by 5% for 3 rounds instead, and P5 is 35% for 3 rounds. So you don't really have to worry about getting triple crit on your buff gears. Just put a gear shirt and you're good to go, honestly. So basic attack, he hits one enemy dealing 120% of his attack. Nothing special. Let me just queue to the skills right now. Ooh. So abilities breakdown 2. Ultimate AoE 6 dealing 250% of his attack and reducing the enemy's max HP by 20% for 2 rounds. So not only does this deal insane damage, it also lowers the enemy's tankiness by 20%, and with the Ultra Ultimate, the damage goes up to 300% of his attack, which is absolutely insane, and reduce enemy max HP by 30%. So if you think about it, Goketsu's ultimate actually does 180% of his attack, and that already slaps. So imagine something doing 120% more scaling. I shudder at the thought, guys. Scary shit. So definitely a good keepsake to pick up if you can afford it. So Awaken passive. So this is where it gets a little bit new for me, because I had a misconception, but it's okay, we're learning together, right guys? So his Awaken 1, he summons a robot doggo for 3 rounds, and the robot doggo has 100% of CE's attack stat as his base stats. So attacks the lowest HP percent unit after any character moves. So you can see this similar to how Gearings does his follow up. Whenever any character on any team does it, Gearings will follow up. So this is similar with the dog. And then follow up deals 200% of the dog's attack as extra damage. So it is able to be absorbed by Bomb Shield, by the way. Heals the lowest HP ally by 25%. And with his Awaken 2, instead of summoning 1 doggo, you summon 2. Other than that, all the stats are the same as I've observed. And you'll be able to heal more because you have 2 dogs following up instead of 1. So it's definitely a very good utility, but it's not completely essential as I mentioned before. But it's definitely very good. Healing 50%. Non-stop. I don't think anything will die in that 3 rounds, if I'm being honest. So is Awaken 2 necessary? In my honest opinion, it is not necessary for free-to-play or small spenders. For hyper-competitive players, definitely. The extra healing is very nice, however, it is quite expensive. If the battle pass round 3, it has lesser value because the dog doesn't go past round 3. However, it does allow you to survive much longer, so your units will have a little bit more tanky stats post round 3. Overall, it's a good utility awaken tool for competitive, however it is not necessary for free-to-play or small spenders as I mentioned before. So now let's get into the nitty-gritty. So for Gearings, base build you got the full kit coverage, main stat attack, substat attack percentage. However, my preferences will be the shield annihilator build, which is utilizing more towards crit and crit damage because you get the natural crit passive from CE is going to deal insane amounts of damage because you want to break the shields so that your follow-up units or even your high DPS units will be able to get right into the enemy's face. So the recommended sets is actually primal. Now you might be wondering why primal? Because when you target select a certain unit, you basically guarantee that that shield or that character will take insane amounts of damage. For the other recommended set will be Gunner. Extra attack is always good, as well as extra damage if you crit. Hence why the shield annihilator build is the recommended for a Gunner set. Now for buff gears, you're gonna have the two different. So you're gonna have two different builds. So you're definitely gonna have two different series of buff gears. So the base build you have hero attack, attack bonus times 3, attack times 2, high tech attack, attack times 3, crit times 2, and S class attack, attack times 3, damage rate times 2. And for the shield annihilator build, for hero attack it's the same stats. For high tech you swap the crit and attack, so you go triple crit and double attack, or triple attack and double crit is fine as well because you have the natural scaling crit from CE's passive. And the S class you go attack times 3, damage rate times 2. You can also utilize two very good augments, tenacity for greater survivability of your CE and crit for that sexy damage, especially paired up with a primal. That initial unit which you're targeting will 100% die unless it's like a 10 million HP Buketsu like Ifura. So here are examples of the buff here you can see on the slides, and we're going to move to talents. So this is something that you will see quite often moving forward. So SSR plus does not have talent 1, so you only have talent 2 and talent 3. So for your talent 1 points, you can use it on your end units so that you are able to unlock the green one here for Esper, Duelist or whatever character, so you can increase their natural base stats. So for talent 2, I would recommend to complete all the necessary stats. So the priority or necessary stats are circled in red for you, and then the additional stats are good to have. So the additional stats are the ones in the blue boxes. I'm sorry, I don't really have an accurate translation of these descriptions. Once they come out in C, I'll do a follow-up to what these stats actually do. For talent 3, as always, because it's so hard to get the materials, base stats are a priority. So the one circled in red again, and then the square blue boxes are additional stats. You don't have a main stat anymore, unfortunately. However, I would assume that the top stat over here, the one with the face mask and the two swords are the main stat, or the one on the green one on the bottom as well could be interpreted as a main stat, or even the sword in the middle there. Because there is no main stat, you won't have something like extra damage from true strike or unyielding, etc, etc. So do be wary of this. Your survivability is not guaranteed anymore because you don't have a 50-50 coin flip to backup pot. So do be wary that your unit stats do need to be a little bit higher in order to survive and deal insane damage. So recommended SAC for the base build, which is the full kit coverage, you have 335 SACs minimum. So 4-star gears 120 SAC, 4-star buff gears 90 SAC, talents 2 and 3 63 SAC, 3-star keepsake 6-star insignia 62 SAC. For the shield annihilator build, you're going to have more SAC as its base, 6-star crit gears for 86 SAC, 6-star crit damage and 4-star attack percentages times 2 will be 146 SAC, 4-star buff gears 90 SAC, talents 2 and 3 63 SAC, 3-star keepsake and 6-star insignia 62 SAC. If you are not able to afford CK keepsake, kindly skip priority, CE keepsake. Priority is CK keepsake, as well as, in my opinion, I would say Guru keepsake is a high priority as well, because Guru keepsake is actually pretty good, honestly. So I do apologize that my quote-unquote free-to-play viewers are not able to get the content as fast as they want. However, you are guaranteed to get the content without a doubt. When? I'll let you decide. Honestly, I would love to give it to you immediately, but then that would defeat the purpose of having a member system. So I hope that you guys understand my perspective and my position, and I'll definitely take your comments into consideration when adjusting when my content is uploaded and when it's adjusted. Till we meet again, everybody, this video will definitely come out on the 11th of January. I am releasing it, and as well as the targets for this year. Yes, I haven't discussed it with you guys. We're aiming for 5,000 subscribers by the end of this year. It's a very big goal, very scary, very far, but I'm sure we can do it. With your help and with my consistency, I think we can get there. Hopefully, we'll hope for the best. Till we meet again, everybody, don't forget, I always read your comments, whether they're bad, they're good. I read them all the time. And I want to say thank you so much for the continuous support. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. If you don't, your hair will become like mine. So be careful. Guys, not so much. Girls, be careful. I see there's 1% girl viewership right there. Just kidding. Till we meet again, everybody, I wish you all a good, I think today's Monday or Tuesday. Good whatever day it is. And a good week ahead, everybody. And yeah, have fun with the game. I understand that you guys are tired and you want to play or you want to quit, but the most important thing is to have fun, even though the game is putting everything against you. Till we meet again.